what happens when you get into debt.
I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't.
I don't know work, I can't go.
Or won't pay it back.
I can't pay it, I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
You want to fight? You want to fight this fight?
Dealing with desperate debtors.
Please open the door.
8 o'clock in the morning, we've got an hour to get out.
In dramatic situations.
I'll break your glasses!
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
We've got nowhere to go.
You can't leave him because if that pipe comes off, it's life-threatening.
And their possessions.
Will it be all right to tow it behind a transit?
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay...
Get your hands off me.
They'll take it away. One in 7 people in the UK are now self-employed, but they earn on average 40% less than company employees. The rising cost of living has left over half of all self-employed workers in worrying levels of debt. Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are High Court enforcement agents. They have 11 years' experience between them, seizing property and collecting debt.
Right, this is Delph Lane.
Is this Delph Lane?
We're looking for a garage, apparently.
Today they're in Liverpool to serve a writ on sole trader Michael Burton. Mr. Burton, a mechanic, owes just over £2,700 to a former colleague.
We're looking for M&B Motors. Put in your note, let's see what's going on.
There's a garage at the address they've been given, but it's now called Delph Lane Autos.
Can I ask Eagle Plant Repairs if he's ever heard of this guy?
So the team ask a neighbouring business for help.
Hi there. I'm looking for M&B Motors.
M&B Motors?
Yeah, Michael Burton.
Thanks for here.
Is that Michael Burton?
Yeah.
Well, this is it, mate. This is it.
Right, let's go and have a chat.
The agents are in the right place, but the defendant appears to be trading under a different company name.
Apparently this is it.
If Mr. Burton can't or won't pay today, the team have the right to remove goods and assets from his business to offset the debt.
Hi, mate, you all right? We're after Mr. Burton. Mr. Burton.
Michael Burton.
Isn't there? I've had confirmation that he is here.
He's not.
The man they meet denies all knowledge of a Michael Burton.
Well, I'll tell you where we are. My name is Mr. Victor, I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah.
So
you try and get him on the phone if he's not here at the moment, because we're here to take control of yours.
That name, like?
Right, OK, we've already spoke to the neighbours, and the neighbours have confirmed that he's here.
What neighbours?
The neighbours in the area.
What area?
This area.
Right, well, I'm going to see what you're on about.
Right. Okay,
what's your name, sir?
I'm Tanya. It's going to be with
all right, that's fine.
The man refuses to reveal his identity.
Because we're here now to take control of goods, sir.
I'm taking none of my stuff, mate.
Right, so can you prove who you are, then?
What do I need to prove who I am?
Because we've got a writ for this address, you see.
Despite the man's denials, Stuart and Vic have the right to make peaceful entry into the property.
Start thinking you're walking in here, mate. You got no right.
OK, so if you just explain who you are, then, that's fine.
I've just told you. Tell me what you want, and I'll tell you what you need to know.
The man demands to see a copy of the writ.
Need to get some proof.
Address?
The address is for you, sir.
The address, yeah. Let's have a look then.
I don't know who you are, sir.
Well, what do you want to know?
I've asked for some ID for yourself.
Well, I don't need to prove anything to you.
Okay, so
but
we'll...
for us to show you the writ, right?
I'm not bothered. Let me just show me what's on the thing then.
I'll explain to you.
Show me what's on it then.
If it's nothing to do with you, sir, then why are you so interested?
What are you doing then? Get out.
I've already explained.
Well, I've told you, no one's here at that name.
Well,
so
I don't believe you, sir.
Well, don't believe me, I don't
Okay, that's
care.
fine, so I'll carry on taking control of goods.
You won't at all, mate. Let me just put your ass straight now. Don't step in there. All right? You've been told.
Let me explain to you. For us to show you who's on the writ,
yeah,
you got to identify yourself. Because if you're
not...
not...
Are you Michael?
Are you Michael?
No, my name's Bradley.
Right,
Do you
have
know
you got
him?
any ID just to prove
I haven't
that?
got any idea on me. No,
You don't have a driver's licence or anything like that?
No, me, no.
Well, in that case, then we will have to take control of goods.
Not on the all.
It's sadly...
How long have you- okay.
You can't, unless you show me what's on that paper there, you won't be coming in here.
How long-
And then that's as simple as that, mate. I'll tell you that right now.
As the man refuses to confirm his identity, Stuart turns up the pressure.
Are you Michael?
No, I'm not. I've just told you that 3 times. I'm not Michael.
I don't
My
believe
name
you,
is
sir.
Bradley. So
Yeah.
fuck off then if you don't
That's
believe me.
right.
I will, because you're doing me head in.
I'm not going anywhere.
You fucking won't be stepping in here, mate, to tell you that now. I'd get fucked off.
Why are you being so defensive?
Why? Because I hate people like you, because you're horrible.
In this job, you're going to come across all walks of life. Some people are going to be truthful and honest. Some people are going to be barefaced liars. It's water off a duck's back to me. If somebody wants to lie to me, it makes me feel better once I found them out.
The man is determined not to let Stuart and Vic inside the property.
So fuck off.
Not going anywhere.
Getting nothing, mate. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look.
I don't know who you are,
Let's
sir.
have a look. You guys look in. You want to show me something? Let me have a look at it.
I don't know who you are.
Well, Shannon, well, you don't know who I am. You don't know who you're looking for then, do you?
I know exactly who I'm looking for.
Who?
Michael Burton.
Tensions are rising. Vic decides to call the police.
My name is Mr. Victor. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We're here to execute a High Court writ at a industrial unit in Merseyside. We need some police assistance, please. The defendant is getting very aggressive, threatening us.
Private property on your way.
Private property got a High Court writ to be here.
Yeah, but who's it for?
Well, Michael Burton, as I've already explained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to hear that name,
I
so
don't
we
believe
can't
you, sir.
prove it.
I
Now
don't
go away.
believe you. I don't believe you.
But don't believe me.
But while Vic is on the phone, the man becomes even more agitated.
Move the car so you can't get his car out.
Stuart's van is blocking other cars from getting out of the drive.
You want to move the car now? I'm
Which
going to start moving stuff for you. I'll only move your stuff out of my way in a minute. Move the stuff now.
Which
Get the
one?
stuff moved.
Yeah,
Get the
okay.
van
Yeah.
moved now.
No problem
Get the
at all.
van moved.
Yeah.
To keep the peace, Stuart agrees to move his vehicle.
Yeah, I'll move the van, no problem at all. In this job, you're going to meet everybody who's been in debt. And some people are aggressive, it can be physically aggressive as well. But it's something you've just got to learn to take in your stride.
Vic keeps the police on the line.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want to show any IDs. He's shouting now, mate. He's going off his head, yeah.
But as Stuart moves the van, the man decides to take action of his own.
He's threatening to block us in. He's now threatening to block us in, mate. This is getting ridiculous.
He forces Stuart to reverse his van towards the busy main road.
I can do with some assistance straight away. He's in his vehicle. He's ramming our vehicle out of down the drive. He's threatening my colleague to get out here.
A straightforward debt collection has quickly turned into a volatile situation. With the man's aggression escalating, will the agents be able to keep the situation under control until the police arrive?
He's trying to. I'm on my way, mate. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor were looking to serve a writ on sole trader Michael Burton, who owed a former colleague £2,700.
We're after Mr. Burton. Mr. Burton. Michael Burton.
But the man they met at the address listed on the writ told them that he wasn't Michael Burton.
Are you Michael?
No, I'm not. I've just told you that 3 times. I'm not Michael.
I don't
My
believe
name
you,
is
sir.
Bradley.
Instead, he blocked them from entering the garage.
You fucking won't be stepping in here, mate, to tell you that now. I'd get fucked off.
Vic called the police.
We need some police assistance, please.
But then the man tried to run the team off the property.
He's ramming our vehicle out of down the drive. He's threatening my colleague to get out here. I'm on my way, mate. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Get out.
Don't touch me.
Now, just as Stuart manages to reverse the vehicle safely off the drive, a team of police officers arrive on the scene. Stuart and Vic explain the situation.
We're High Court enforcement agents. We've been insisted to execute a writ of control at this address. We've confirmed from the garage behind.
That is Michael Burton.
This is Michael Burton's business.
We just want to know who that gentleman is, if he's Michael Burton or if he's just working for him.
Vic hands the officer a copy of the writ. With police officers present, the man is finally forced to reveal who he is.
Michael Burton.
Michael Burton.
What?
What's your name, mate?
Matter, does it?
Yes, of course it does. Michael Burton.
Yeah. When he's been questioned, he's actually come out and said that his name is Michael. So it's the defendant we're after all the time. So mine and Vic's hunches straight away have come clear.
Do not tell another lie.
I'm not lying to anyone.
You've been lying. You've just lied to me. Do not lie again. These will deal with you appropriately, according to the documentation they've got.
Yeah.
We're going to stand here. You're going to behave yourself.
Right.
Having confirmed the man's identity, the agents must now recover the £2,700 they came for.
Can I come in now?
No, you can't come in. No.
I've got a writ here, mate, to come in here.
No, you're not coming in.
I'm coming in. I've got a High Court writ here in your name.
Yeah, in my name, yeah.
With the police present, Mr. Burton has no option but to allow Stuart and Vic onto the premises.
I haven't got money, so what do you want me to do?
Well, then we're going to take goods.
You can't take goods, can you?
Why can't I?
You just can't just come in and take people's stuff.
Yeah, it says there, look there.
It's not even my stuff.
Michael now claims that the goods in the garage don't belong to him, but to a fellow mechanic. If he can't prove this is true, the agents can start seizing some of his assets.
Right. Michael, have a word with me.
I can't pay you.
Listen
I
to me.
can't
No,
pay you.
Listen to me.
I can't pay it. I haven't got it.
Okay, calm down.
I can't
Listen,
do nothing.
Do you
What am I meant
do you want
to
me to help you? Do you want me to help?
Can you help me? Yeah,
Yes.
can you help me?
Yes, I can.
I can't pay it.
Okay.
I haven't got it.
Calm down. You're going to calm down.
I can't because you're stressing me. I can't pay it.
Michael claims he has no means to pay his debt, but Vic needs him to calm down so that he can negotiate a payment plan.
Just calm down. Listen to me.
I can't give you something that I haven't got.
Calm down.
I can't do it. I haven't got it.
What can you pay? Hold on. No. What can you pay monthly? Think now with a clear. Calm down and think with a clear.
I can pay £100 a month.
But before a payment plan can be put in place, Mr. Burton must pay a substantial amount today.
You're not going to like this, what I'm going to tell you, but let me finish, right? It's got to be £1,000 today. Try it, mate. Listen to me. Listen.
I can't get it. I can't get it.
Okay, what can you get? What can you get? 600?
I can get... fucking hell. I don't have the money.
What can you pay? 200 a month?
I can pay £200 a month.
No.
I can give you 600 quid, but you aren't taking nothing today.
Okay, listen to me. Listen, okay, Michael, I'm listening to you and I'm listening to you, okay? And I'm all right with that. I'm going to make a phone call now.
Michael has finally come up with an offer. But if the claimant decides it's not enough, the agents will have to seize items from the garage.
Hello? It's Vic.
Vic calls the office. But while he's on the phone, Michael's parents and wife arrive to help raise the funds.
She's going to get you the rest now, mate. Go and get the 118. Okay. All right, that's it.
Michael's wife goes to the bank to get the rest of the money. Minutes later, Vic hears back from the claimant.
All right, thank you very much.
Michael's offer has been accepted.
200 a month?
200 a
600
month.
today?
That's all I can pay.
This is what they've accepted it.
I can't pay you the 200. I can't pay that 200 now till next month.
No, you won't. Michael.
You know what I mean?
Jesus, mate, you must let me speak. I'm trying to talk to you here. It's going to be a control goods agreement, which means the stuff stay here.
Michael's business is safe for now. But if he doesn't keep to his repayment plan, the agents have the right to return and seize goods.
Another quiet day at the office.
But seeing Stuart making a list of goods starts to irritate Michael.
Do us a favour, mate. Stop going round the garage and paying you. I'm paying you, aren't I? Get him down.
Michael,
what I'm
listen,
doing, you know.
Michael.
Get him down the stairs.
I'm going to explain to you what he's doing.
I'm going to give you the money what I just said there, mate. I'm going to give you the money. Get out of the garage.
Michael's mother steps in to calm her son down.
Listen, you shut up. Sit down.
20 minutes later, Mr. Burton's wife returns with the remaining cash.
One. Two.
Do you want to pay more?
No, don't. No, mate, appreciate it, what you've done. But the 6 ton. Whereas, you can shoot off the alarm, that's paid.
Stuart and Vic's perseverance has paid off.
Suppose you can kick and scream all you want, can't you?
Yeah.
End of the day, you're going to start paying.
Still get the cash, don't we?
Yeah.
But if Michael doesn't keep up with his repayments, the agents will be back. The number of elderly people living in rented accommodation is on the rise. But with rents and living costs increasing year on year, nearly half of all retired people are struggling to live off their pensions. (8 a.m. Isleworth, West London. High Court enforcement agents Steve Pinner and his son Ben are on their way to carry out an eviction.
So this morning we have a writ of possession against Mr. Peter, Malcolm Norman and one other. It appears to me that it will be a simple end of tenancy.
For the last few months, the tenants, Mr. and Mrs. Norman, have been struggling to pay their rent.
What number? 18.
The county court has sent the tenants an eviction notice, but the landlord has now applied to the High Court to speed up the eviction. The tenants must leave today.
Good morning, Mr. Norman.
Yes, sir.
My name's Ben. We're here today to repossess the property.
Mr. Norman has the county court papers in his hand.
According to this, sir, it's if you stay beyond this date, your landlord can ask the court to send a bailiff to evict you. According to the county court in Brentford yesterday, no such application has been made.
Sir. That is the county court. We are from the High Court.
I don't understand what's happening here. So we were told that we'd be here for another week and that no application has been found anywhere, and therefore...
For the county court bailiff, yes. So the matter's been transferred and we are here instead, and there is no notice of that, as it does say on your possession order.
Well, I think that's very unfair, don't you?
Well, I'm afraid I don't make the rules, sir.
This is unbelievable. I'm being slung out my own. I don't know what to say. I can't believe this. We're leaving this place because we can't afford to pay the rent, because we don't get enough money.
Mr. and Mrs. Norman have lived at the house for 7 years. They now have 1 hour to pack up their essentials and leave.
I just can't believe it's come to this, you know. 8 o'clock in the morning, we've got an hour to get out.
I'm afraid so.
You're listening to this, darling? We've got an hour to pack a bag and go to the go to the council. All right, lads, thanks for doing what you do. What's the time? We'll do a time check.
It's 8:20.
8:20. Oh,
When that first opened the door, I thought, what was going to happen here? He's standing with a piece of paper and a script to read. I'm thinking, what's he going to say?
Mr. Norman and his wife are both retired and receiving housing benefit.
I've got your medicine, Dolly, in here.
But following recent welfare cuts, their benefits don't cover the rent.
Do you have a car?
I'll pretend you didn't mean that. If you had money for a car, you'd be able to pay his rent, wouldn't you? Don't you think?
Mr. Norman covered the shortfall in his rent with his personal savings until they ran out. He has tried to find work, but failed.
It seems to me, sir, that all the people who've done all the work and paid all the money are the last people who get what they've paid for over their working lives.
Being dependent on benefits is not something Mr. Norman has been used to.
Are you local?
We moved here from Kew.
Okay, yeah.
That's not to say my previous job was a caretaker, and the house came with a job. It wasn't that I was rich and it was my house.
Caretaker where?
Just over the other side of Kew Bridge, where
Okay.
the big red brick houses. I was there for 19 years.
Wow.
Mr. Norman hoped the council would step in before the eviction took place, but they've been told they could be rehoused over 100 miles from home, where rents are cheaper.
In 3 months' contact with the housing department at Hounslow Council, I've had one phone call. And that was to tell me I might be going to live in Birmingham.
The reality of the situation is beginning to take its toll on Mr. Norman.
Big fat load of cornflakes and a nice glass of wine. And it's not my usual time, I assure you of that, sir. But circumstances being what they are, one tends to go out of phase a bit. It's not fair. It's just not bloody fair. Well, but all the years we've been collecting our favourite films, what's going to happen to them?
Despite the couple's circumstances, Steve and Ben must complete the eviction.
So you've got clothing, medication, identification?
The only one I have, yeah. Bus card, spent card.
It's a very distressing situation, especially to people who are maybe more vulnerable. They need a little bit more support, and I must say I was happy to give it in any way I could, and I really did feel for that couple.
Right, Mr. Pinner.
Is there anything else we can help you with? Carrying down?
Sorry?
Couldn't go 3 months' rent to go well. Yeah.
If only, sir.
Oh, very well, in fact. Bus pass, Dolly. You got your bus pass?
I don't know.
The eviction is almost complete, but Steve and Ben are concerned for the couple's welfare.
Is this going to be enough stuff for a couple of days?
That's mine, yeah. To be honest, mate, I've got some underwear, you've got some T-shirts.
Yeah, it's going to be cold out, so you want to wrap up warm.
It is very cold, sir.
The worst jobs you get is when you're involved in having to evict older people from their properties. They don't have the means to draw in money from anywhere else to top up their rent or anything like that. It was one of those days where you wished you was at a different house 5 miles away.
Mrs. Norman is concerned about leaving her belongings in the house.
Come on.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, you won't get them, Dolly. We'll get them, darling, I promise you.
Nothing's going to be
You
touched.
can make arrangements to come back. If you have problems, you can call us. Our numbers are on the door.
Yeah.
You can take that number down.
I can come back, darling. I'll get back, don't you worry about that. They might have lost this one, but that doesn't mean it's only a battle, darling.
There has been a rise in evictions since benefit caps came in force because the people on benefits don't have the money or won't pay the difference in the rents. The likes of Mr. and Mrs. Norman paid into the system, and in their time of need, they're not getting the help that they should do. So the council should think on that and help the elderly, the vulnerable.
Mr. and Mrs. Norman's hour to pack and leave the house is up.
Good luck, Peter.
Thanks, mate, thanks. Thanks a lot. I know
Seriously.
you're only doing your job.
You take care.
It's the way that it's happening, don't you?
Yeah. No, okay.
All right, darling, off we go now.
Take care.
Bon voyage, mon ami.
The couple now need to find emergency accommodation or could face the night on the streets.
Terrible, really. A couple like that. The council should do something before, shouldn't they, really? This case really did hit both me and Dad. We was just completely shocked. I went home that night thinking, where are they now? It was a real horrible situation because they completely were genuine people.
Steve and Ben have faced a heartbreaking situation. But in Stuart and Vic's next case, they meet a student in denial.
The office have been ringing since 30th of October. No reply, no reply, no reply, no reply, no reply.
Whose debt is causing a family crisis.
You're not ringing your dad, why don't you?
Oh, he's gonna freaking kill me.
Average debts amongst young people aged 15 to 24 have more than trebled in the last 10 years. More than half have personal debts, including payday loans and credit card bills. And many are turning to their families for help.
today?
Sunny Bolton, eh?
Bolton, Lancashire. High Court enforcement agents Stuart McCracken and Elmore Victor are on their way to serve a writ on a young debtor.
Any idea what debt you think it could be?
Yeah, well, the defendant is Miss Amy Evans.
Right.
Student nurse Amy Evans owes just over £750. But this isn't the first time Vic has tried to recover the debt.
Red door.
So it's the red door there. Oh, stick it up there. Looks like a nice house though, you know, it looks like it's well maintained.
So Miss Amy Evans is still here?
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be that.
The last time Vic met Amy, she agreed to make monthly instalments to repay the debt. But she's defaulted, and now Vic is back with Stuart to recover payment in full or seize goods if Amy can't or won't pay.
Oh, sounds pretty empty.
Oh, someone in, mate.
Is there?
Yep.
Very good. Hi, good morning, sir. My name is Mr. Victor, I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I've actually been here before.
Yeah.
Amy lives at home with her mum and dad. But it's her uncle who answers the door.
Is she about?
She's in bed at the moment. She's just finished the shift.
Are you able to wake her up, mate? 'Cause like I said, we're here now to execute a High Court writ.
Why?
I've got to discuss it with her. Her name's on the writ, sir.
The writ allows the agents to make peaceful entry into the house.
Hang on, I'm not giving you permission.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're here now to take control of the writ of control. So like I said, I'll stay here, I won't go any further, but it is important that we speak to Amy.
Hey, man! You better get down here, huh?
What the hell? What's this thing on?
Hi, Amy. My name is Mr. Victor, I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Yeah.
There's an outstanding balance of £750 and 90 pence that needs to be paid today.
How much?
750.90. There is the amount on there, 750.90. We need payment in full today. So
I
don't
was
think it's
paying it though monthly, £100.
Yeah. Well, you must have stopped or something.
Have you been paying it?
Yeah.
Have you got proof of payment?
I've got. I was transferring money every month from my online bank.
I was going to check on the
Yeah.
As Amy claims she's been paying off her loan, Stuart goes to check his paperwork.
At some point, you must have missed a few payments, you see. They won't send us out otherwise, so...
But the documentation shows that Amy has defaulted on her payment plan.
As you can see here, payments have been made. 7th, 88889. The office have been ringing since the 30th of October. No reply, no reply, no reply, no reply, no reply. So there's been many times we tried to contact.
Yeah, no, don't answer any number, I don't know.
Well, if you don't answer the phone, then that's the reason why we come back. There's a lot of young adults out there that are embarrassed of their situation and don't really know how to deal with it. If you want to blatantly ignore it and wait for a High Court enforcement agent to come on the door, that's what we'll do.
As Amy hasn't been keeping up with her payments, Vic needs her to raise the full £750 she owes. But there's a problem.
Do you want to give your dad a call?
No, because he's going to kill me.
Yeah.
You'll have to do something still.
I haven't got a choice. In the nicest possible way. I know it might be hard.
Something like that to be done, Amy.
I know, but what can I do?
You're not ringing your dad, won't you?
Oh, he's going to freaking kill me.
Well...
During Vic's last visit, Amy's father agreed to pay back some of his daughter's debt, on the condition she paid off the rest. She's reluctant to ask him for more help. But the agents need to settle the case today, one way or another.
In 10 minutes, I'm going to have to start doing an inventory of goods.
And what does an inventory of goods entail?
It's basically, I'd list everything that's in the property that's of value to be removed. It's then removed, it's then stored for 7 days before it's sold at public auction.
Yeah, but it's not a property.
We need to see proof of that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Because I don't buy it. All I've got is what is in my bedroom.
Yes.
Which is most probably your mom's, but you'll have to have a sales invoice, or she'll have to have a sales invoice to prove that she's paid for it and you didn't.
And who keeps receipts like that?
Well...
Amy needs to prove that the possessions in the house are owned by her parents. If she can't, they could be taken away to offset her debt. But Stuart has even more bad news.
If we do an inventory of goods, it goes up to the £1,380 because we even then technically seized the goods. I'm afraid.
The pressure is on.
You got to bring your dad cop. You got to. There's no.
What if he's not got it? He's not got loads of money just stashed back.
I know, but something's got to be done.
I don't know why young people think that if they're not going to pay it back, that it's going to go away. But debt unfortunately follows you, and wherever you are registered to live, that's where we'll go to collect the debt from.
After 10 minutes, there's still no sign of any payment. Stuart's patience is running out.
She isn't really doing much apart from texting. And so I think it's about time now we're going to have to start putting our foot down and assessing what we can take control of to sell at public auction if she can't raise the funds. Right, guys, I'm going to have to start taking control of goods, I'm afraid. See what we can do.
Amy's time to raise some funds is up. Stuart starts to make a list of goods.
All these were mother's, all these.
I need to see some documentation or proof or something like that.
As Stuart makes the inventory, Amy finally decides to call her father for help.
Dad, don't, because you're making it worse for me. Just please don't. They're not going to take anything if I get the money. I didn't want to ring you up, Dad. Right, he's going to pay it.
What amount?
The £750.
Amy's father has agreed to pay the debt. But as the agents have started the inventory, it might not be enough.
Stuart, Amy's dad is willing to make a payment, but he can only get the £750.
Right.
I've explained that we have gone to the sales stage, obviously.
Oh, you're joking, weren't you? It's trying our best for you.
Honestly, I've been with people.
Okay. Does it think you pay over the phone, Cammy?
He's got cash.
He's bringing it here.
Are you sure you can get it?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay. Right, okay.
I'm so sorry.
With the offer of £750 in cash, Stuart and Vic decide to waive the extra fee. They wait inside as Amy goes to meet her father.
Everybody needs help every now and then, but some people do tend to borrow and then have a habit of not paying back. And it's a shame that it has to be put on the parents' shoulders to step up for something that isn't their mistake.
15 minutes later, Amy and her father return.
Yeah, are you able to make payments, I believe that? Yeah, it's £750.90 in total. I'll do your receipt now.
What's that?
Dad, I don't want you. I've just asked you, please, don't. Just bring it. I know what it's for.
What is it all together?
750, 750 and 90 pence.
It's 500 there, Vic. That's it there. Oh, okay.
Debt can definitely bring out the best and worst in people. We find in a lot of cases where parents help out their kids, because that's what parents do, if they can. But debt can definitely bring people together or tear them apart. It's all done now.
Look, we've all made mistakes.
Well, like I said, we'll get out your way, because I'm sure we're the last people you want to see at the moment. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Across the UK, small to medium-sized businesses are currently owed £67 billion in unpaid invoices. Chasing companies for late payments through the courts is costing these businesses an extra £11 billion every year, forcing many into bankruptcy. Chipping Norton, Oxfordshire. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Steve Pinner are on their way to recover a debt of over £30,000 owed to a supplier.
Last time I went to a place like this in the country, a man drove a tractor at me and started having a go at me. Did he? Yeah.
The debtor is a world-renowned racing car team.
Well, it's £30,000 plus, and it's the Lotus Formula One team Limited.
If Lotus Formula One can't or won't pay, the agents have the right to remove goods to cover the debt.
Where we're actually going would appear to be a technical centre. So, testbed engines and things like that.
Might be a research facility, which means they're going to be really tight on security.
Well, just have to use your silver tongue to get us through the gate.
Or possibly a crowbar.
All visitors must report security. Oh, this is going to be good, isn't it?
The entrance to the facility is protected by an electric security gate.
This is exactly as we thought it might be.
Just shut the gate, see, look.
The more fuss we have, the better. My name is Paul Bowhill. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Okay.
We have a writ to serve against Formula One.
Okay.
Is there someone with power and authority
lady there?
that we could speak to?
Yeah, have you got a copy of the document?
I have, yeah.
If you'd like to come over to reception.
This job was very different. We was going to a huge, complex, multi-million-pound company, security everywhere. It was a different job than the normal run-of-the-mill.
Lotus Formula One team's financial troubles have been widely publicised, and the agent's visit hasn't come as a surprise. This isn't the first writ the company has had to deal with recently.
Hello.
Hello, this is Sandra, I'm Jolie.
Hi there.
Who are you here on behalf of?
Musset Engineering.
Right, okay.
That's
That is
30 grand.
something, yeah, it's known to us. We completely honour the debt, want to honour the debt.
But Jolene, the site manager, has some bad news for Paul. Lotus Formula One reportedly owes £2.7 million in unpaid taxes, and they've already taken action.
What's happened is that HMRC
Yep.
done an application for administration, which is this document here,
Right.
and we're held under the moratorium of this application. And what they've been advising us to do is to make any High Court enforcement officers aware of the situation.
Okay.
The moratorium means that Lotus Formula One are protected from settling any debts while they're being pushed towards administration by Revenue and Customs.
And I know it looks very glamorous that we've gone to a race, but trust me, it's on an absolute wing and a prayer.
Yeah, it's okay, we understand that. Yeah.
The odds seem stacked against them, but will Paul and Steve find another way to collect the £30,000 debt? And will they end up driving away with a dream car?
Because we had this vision of driving out through the gate with a Formula One car
Really?
on the back.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Well,
Shot to pieces now, that.
High Court enforcement agents Paul Bowhill and Steve Pinner were looking to recover £30,000 from a world-famous racing car team.
We have a writ to serve against Formula One.
Okay.
The site manager, Jolene, initially seemed willing to pay.
we completely honour the debt, want to honour the debt.
But then she dropped a bombshell.
What's happened is that HMRC have done an application for administration, which is this document here.
Lotus Formula One owed Revenue and Customs a reported £2.7 million in unpaid taxes, and the company was facing administration proceedings in the High Court. Most financial activity had been suspended, including paying off its creditors.
We had this vision of driving out through the gate with a Formula One car
Really?
on the back.
Oh, right, okay.
But with a writ to collect £30,000, Paul doesn't want to walk away empty-handed.
It's the customs who started this rolling.
Yeah, and we hoped that what would have happened is that Renault would have come on board, our funding would all be in place, we'd have had time to make payments to all our suppliers.
Jolene claims the debt will be settled once the new shareholder, Renault, is on board. But Paul wants to resolve this case today.
We just need to run it past our in-house IP to make sure that we've got the bases covered.
He calls an insolvency advisor.
Hello, yeah, it's Paul Bowhill. We've just turned up for a £30,000 writ The moratorium order we've got a copy of, and we've also got a copy of the court papers, and the hearing was adjourned to the 18th, at which point either the Customs will come to an agreement for things to be resolved or then put it into administration. So you think we could still sign a controlled goods agreement?
The advisor tells Paul that they are entitled to seize goods after all, as long as they leave them on site until after the insolvency hearing takes place.
It's nice to have the backup, the reality. Forewarned is forearmed. All right, that's lovely. Thank you, Barry.
Now Paul must tell site manager Jolene the news.
I've just spoken to my advisor. She said just take a Formula One car anyway.
Okay.
There must be an item here of value that we can identify and photograph.
Could you do a warrant of control on something?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So you know the drill. I'm really impressed.
You got any jobs?
Would you like to join us? Yeah, that's exactly, it's a controlled goods agreement, to use the right terminology.
That's okay. We'll be happy to do that. That's not a problem at all.
Now Steve and Paul need to search for assets that will offset the £30,000 debt. But there's a problem. As well as owing millions in unpaid taxes, Lotus Formula One has over £600,000 worth of extra debt to other creditors. And some assets on site have already been ring-fenced.
The only asset that we've really got that we can show you is a show car.
That's fine.
They're valued around 290,000 in our books.
That's all right.
And we can take you down to there now.
The agents are in luck. A show car is still available and will more than cover the £30,000 on the writ.
The type of car that we'd normally seize is a family saloon or a works van or anything. It might be more extravagant, but the car that we were presented with was a pure racing machine.
Paul and Steve step into one of the company's workshops.
Relax, we're not taking anything.
Will it be all right to tow it behind a transit?
Do you want to get in?
Oh, please.
You want a family album, wouldn't it? You see, set you in.
God helps. I do like nice cars, and it was nice to actually see the Formula One car and actually looking at the engineering that takes place to get those things working.
Can you take a photo? Because you know where you're looking. Just
Yeah, 91.
The agents find the replica racing car they've been offered.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Once listed on a writ of control, it can be seized if the debt is not paid off. But Jolene is concerned.
I don't want to sign it.
You're okay.
I really have to sign it.
If anybody gets smart over it, you can give them my phone number, the mobile number on there, because it's quite simple, really. We understand all the ins and outs, which is why we're here, because I've been involved in insolvency for 25 years.
The case has been resolved, for now.
All the best. Take care.
The agents must wait to see whether Renault step in as they'd hoped and pay the company's creditors.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Take care.
If the deal doesn't happen, the agents could be back to take away one of the most unusual assets they've ever seized.
We achieved the best result that we could get out of the circumstances. Because there's a pending administration in the background, we were able to take photographs and say, this Formula One car, it is now under our control until such time as A, the debt is paid, or B, the administration kicks in.
Next time, Brian has his eye out for assets.
Put the keys in there, so I'm having a look. I think this is his van.
Stuart and Ian are shocked by what they discover in a family home.
Oh my God.
And they face an explosive eviction.
I'll rip you apart!
where the tenants threatened to burn down the house.
See it burn to dust.
Catch all that new next Wednesday at 9. There are more tough times ahead as the financial woes continue to grow here on Channel 5. Meet those struggling to survive on benefits in Life on the Dole, new tomorrow at 9. Up next tonight, new nightmare tenants, slum landlords.